Hello, students. I hope you are doing well. So, the topic that we are going to discuss today is electromagnetic induction, NCRT section 6.8, example 6.10. So, this is the disclaimer. Learning objective after this lecture, you will be able to calculate and analyze the induced EMF in an AC generator using Faraday's law and determine how it varies with time. Okay, yesterday we have discussed uh, and in previous lectures we have discussed that how we can induce the EMF. So we can induce the EMF by changing the magnetic flux linked with the coil. And how we can change the magnetic flux? There are three methods. First method is by changing the magnetic field. Okay, we can change the magnetic field. We can use the time varying magnetic field, that is changing with respect to time. Also, we can change the magnetic flux by changing the area of the coil, because magnetic flux is equal to Ba cos theta, and we can change the magnetic field, magnetic flux will change. We can change the area of the loop, then magnetic flux will change, and we can change the angle theta. How we can change the angle theta? And that theta angle is between the area vector of the coil. Okay, area vector is the perpendicular vector to the plane of the coil. So angle between area vector and magnetic field. So we can change this angle theta. How? If we are changing the orientation of the coil with respect to magnetic field. Okay, like rotating coil in the magnetic field. We have discussed in moving charges and magnetism that torque on rotating coil. In that topic, we know that angle between the magnetic field and area vector will change. So that principle, by that method, we are going to change the magnetic flux and induce the EMF in the coil. And that is the principle of AC generator. So the topics that we are going to discuss today is NCRT section 6.8, AC generator, and example 6.10. Okay, so AC generator works on the principle of electromagnetic induction, and we are going to study that how EMF or current is being induced in the coil of the generator, and how we are changing the magnetic flux in the coil of the generator. Okay, so AC generator is a device which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. Okay, so in starting, we have been you may have been seen the electric AC generator in the homes, normal generator that we use to rotate the shaft or coil. Inside there is a coil, outside there is a shaft, and by the help of the handle we are going to rotate it. And after some time, after rotating for some time, it will start rotating on its own by using the fuel, by using diesel, and that diesel is providing the chemical energy, and that generator is using chemical energy to convert it into mechanical energy. What is mechanical energy here? Coil is rotating, that is mechanical energy, and it is using fuel, chemical energy. And due to the rotation of the coil in the magnetic field, magnetic flux is changing, due to which EMF or current is being induced, that is electrical energy. So AC generator is a device which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. So this is the diagram for AC generator. Now you can see some major parts of this AC generator. There is a coil, okay, having n number of turns, and it is rotating in the magnetic field. Magnetic field is produced by these north pole and south pole. They can be fixed, they can be of permanent magnets. These poles can be of permanent magnets or electromagnets. Okay, these are slip rings. One slip ring is connected with one end of the coil, and another slip ring is connected with another end of the coil. Okay, and these are carbon brushes, they are pressed against the slip rings. Okay, so the EMF that is inducing, or current that is being induced, okay, if I am using induced EMF or induced current, both are interchangeable terms. Okay, both are correct, so don't get confused. So induced current, So when current is induced, then these carbon brushes will transfer this current through the external circuit. So this is the external circuit. These carbon brushes are connected to external circuit or any external component which is being operated with the help of this induced current. Okay, and the induced current will be alternating. How it is alternating, we are going to discuss in the further slides. So what is the principle? AC generator works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. The principle is based on Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So this principle is based on the Faraday's law. What is Faraday's law? Magnitude of induced EMF is proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux, or is equal to the rate of change of magnetic flux, and direction of, or we can say polarity of induced EMF is given by Lenz's law, and collectively it is known as Faraday's Lenz law. According to Faraday's law, changing magnetic flux induces an EMF in the coil. Okay, when we change the magnetic flux, EMF will be induced. And to change the magnetic flux, there are three methods. Okay, but for AC generator, which method is being applied? Change of orientation, change in theta. So as the coil rotates, flux changes continuously due to the change in orientation of the coil with respect to direction of the magnetic field. As this coil is rotating, magnetic field direction is from north to south. There are straight lines, straight magnetic field lines from north to south, and this coil is rotating. So orientation of this coil is changing with respect to time and with respect to magnetic field. Okay, due to which the magnetic field lines that are passing through this coil will change with respect to time. Okay, when this coil is when the plane of this coil is along the magnetic field lines, then no magnetic field lines are passing through this coil. When it is perpendicular to the magnetic field lines, then maximum number of magnetic field lines are passing through it. Okay, so that's why due to the change of orientation of the coil, EMF is induced due to the change of flux. Okay, with respect to direction of magnetic field, causing the induced EMF. So this is the principle of the AC generator. So let's see the construction. We have already discussed, but we are going to discuss it in detail. So this is the diagram, and the first component is armature. What is armature? It is basically this coil, but a rectangular coil of many turns wound on a soft iron core. All these things collectively called armature. So this is a coil having n number of turns, and soft iron core is inserted inside the coil. What is the function of soft iron core? We have discussed the function of soft iron core in moving coil galvanometer also. So soft iron core, soft iron is a ferromagnetic substance. Which type of ferromagnetic substance? Soft ferromagnetic substance. So soft iron is a ferromagnetic substance which allows maximum field lines to pass through it. Okay, so it is inserted inside the coil, due to which most of the magnetic field lines that are from north to south will prefer to pass through the soft iron core, and hence magnetic field strength around this rectangular coil will increase. Okay, so if magnetic field strength is more around the coil, then change in magnetic flux will be more, due to which EMF induced will be more. Okay, so it is used to enhance the EMF production, EMF induction. Okay, so a rectangular coil of many turns, n number of turns wound on a soft iron core, it is called armature. Field magnets. Okay, so these magnets are used permanent or electromagnets. Okay, so strong permanent magnets or electromagnets having north and both south poles, providing a uniform magnetic field. So between these poles, magnetic field lines is uniform. Okay, uniform magnetic field lines means straight lines having, how uniform magnetic field lines are shown? Straight lines having same distance between them. Okay, so this is uniform magnetic field lines. Okay, so value of magnetic field line and direction of magnetic field is same at every point. Okay, slip rings. So these are slip rings. Two metal rings that rotate along with the armature coil. Each end of the coil is connected to a separate ring. So you can see this end is connected with this coil, this slip ring, and this end of the coil is connected with this slip ring. Okay, so EMF is induced. So each end of the coil is connected with these slip rings, and brushes are pressed against the slip rings. Okay, so the current is induced in the coil and it is transferred through slip rings and brushes to the outer circuit. Carbon brushes. Carbon brushes that maintain the continuous contact with the rotating slip rings. So they are pressed against slip rings. So they are in continuous contact with the rotating slip rings to deliver the current to the external circuit. Okay, so to operate the external component, we are using carbon brushes. Now let's see the working. So magnetic flux through the coil having n number of turns is, so we know that magnetic flux is given by phi b equal to nba cos theta. For one turn, magnetic flux through any coil of one turn will be ba cos theta. But for n number of turns, magnetic flux will be nba cos theta. Okay, where b is the magnetic field, a is the area of the coil, and theta is the angle between the normal to the area a and b. Okay, so this area vector is always normal to the plane of the coil. Okay, and this theta angle is between the normal to the area a, which means between area vector and magnetic field. So you can see this is the plane of coil and the perpendicular vector. If this coil is lying horizontal, if the plane of this coil is horizontal, then the vertical vector which is perpendicular to the plane of the coil will be area vector of this coil. Okay, now armature coil is rotated mechanically in the magnetic field. So armature coil is rotated with the help of handle or any other means. So it is rotated, or we can say it is rotated with the help of another fuel like diesel. Okay, or by other things. So armature coil is rotated mechanically in the magnetic field. As it rotates, the orientation of the coil, that is angle between the area vector and magnetic field, changes continuously. So as coil is rotating inside the uniform magnetic field, the angle at any time will be different. The angle between the area vector and magnetic field, area vector of loop, area vector and magnetic field will change continuously, and you can see at any instant the angle will be different. The axis of rotation of the coil is perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field. So that axis of rotation about which this coil is rotating, this is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. Direction of magnetic field is from north to south, and the axis about which coil is rotating is perpendicular to that. You can see in the diagram, magnetic field direction is from north to south. This is some tilted view. You can see from the front, magnetic field direction will be from north to south. The axis is exactly perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field. Okay. Due to change in orientation of coil, magnetic flux linked with the coil changes continuously, thus induces an EMF in the coil. So due to the change of magnetic flux linked with the coil, due to the rotation of the coil, an EMF is induced in the coil. Let the coil rotate with constant angular velocity. So let's suppose that coil initially is vertical to the magnetic field lines, and it is rotating with constant angular velocity omega. Okay, there is no angular acceleration. It is rotating with constant angular velocity omega. Angle between the magnetic field B vector and area vector A vector at any time t. So when this coil is rotating at any time t, you will observe that theta will be equal to omega t. Theta is the angular displacement. Omega is angular velocity. We know that angular velocity is equal to angular displacement upon time. Like in the translation of motion, displacement is equal to velocity upon time. Similarly, when some when in rotational motion, this coil is rotating. So in rotational motion, omega is equal to theta by t. Theta is angular displacement. So at any time t, theta will be equal to omega t. Okay. So you have to assume that theta equal to 0 degree at t equal to 0. What is meant by theta is equal to 0 degree? What is meant by that statement? Means angle between magnetic field and area vector is 0 degree at time equal to 0. That means that plane of the coil is perpendicular to the magnetic field. Plane is perpendicular, but area vector is along the magnetic field. Okay. I hope the concept of area vector is cleared. Okay, area vector is always perpendicular to the coil. So if coil is perpendicular to the magnetic field lines, then area vector will be along magnetic field. Okay, so initially we assume that theta is equal to 0 degree, and that means angle between magnetic field and area vector is 0 degree. That means this coil is initially, the plane of the coil is initially perpendicular to the magnetic field. Okay. Now from equation 6.1, flux through the coil at any time t is phi b equal to NBA cos theta, which will be equal to NBA cos omega t. Okay, theta we have discussed at any time t, theta will be equal to omega t. So magnetic flux through the coil at any time will be NBA cos theta, which is equal to NBA cos omega t. Using Faraday's law of induction. So what is Faraday law of induction? EMF induced is equal to rate of change of magnetic flux. Okay, so magnetic flux we have calculated. We will take the change of this magnetic flux with respect to time. So using Faraday's law of induction, induced EMF in the rotating coil is given by epsilon equal to minus d phi b upon dt. Okay, so put the value of phi in it. So phi is NBA cos omega t. So minus d by dt NBA cos omega t. So now differentiate it. Now in the generator, we cannot change number of turns. Once generator is made, we cannot change the number of turns frequently. We cannot change the magnetic field because poles are fixed. Either it is permanent magnet, either it is electromagnet. So poles are fixed. So we cannot change the magnetic field also. Or we cannot change the area of the coil also. Okay, we cannot change the area of the coil frequently once generator is made. So these things are constant. So these things NBA will come out of derivative. Only cos omega t will remain as it is. Because omega t is changing. Theta is changing. So that's why it is variable. So differentiation will be done of cos omega t. So epsilon is equal to minus NBA, and cos omega, differentiation of cos omega t is, differentiation of cos theta is sin minus sin theta. Okay, so cos omega t, differentiation of cos omega t is minus sin omega t. But here is omega t. We are differentiating with respect to t, not omega t. So again, according to chain rule, differentiation of omega t will be done and multiply with the result. So differentiation of omega t will be omega, and it will be multiplied with the basic result. What was standardized result? Cos theta minus sin theta. So cos omega t, differentiation of cos omega t minus sin omega t. But because we are differentiating with respect to t, so omega t will be differentiated again and multiplied with the standardized result. So omega will be multiplied with the minus sin omega t. So minus 1 minus is of expression and 1 minus came due to the differentiation. So minus minus get cancel out. Epsilon is equal to nba omega sin omega t. So mark it as 6.19 equation. Induced EMF is sinusoidal, alternating. You can see EMF is represented in the term of sine function. This term n is constant, this b is constant, this area is constant, and omega is also constant. We have taken that coil is rotating with constant velocity omega. So what is variable here? Sine omega t. Okay, so that EMF is varying sinusoidally. That means this EMF is alternating. Okay, it is changing its value after equal intervals of time. Does the instantaneous value of EMF at any time, this is instantaneous value, at any time EMF is represented by epsilon equal to epsilon naught sine omega t. Okay, so you can see this epsilon, this is a constant value nba omega, so it is represented as epsilon naught. Okay, and this equation is marked as 6.20. Now this sine omega t, sine function lies between 1 and minus 1. Sine function will vary between plus 1 and minus 1. So the value of this epsilon will be between, when there is 1, then epsilon will be equal to epsilon naught. When there is minus 1, when sine omega t is minus 1, then epsilon will be equal to minus epsilon naught. Therefore, value of epsilon is between epsilon naught and minus epsilon naught. This epsilon naught will be the maximum value of this EMF, and it is varying between the maximum value and minimum value of the EMF. Okay. Where epsilon naught is equal to the nba omega, and it is called peak value, or we can say maximum value or maximum EMF, which occurs when sine omega t is plus minus 1. So at plus 1, when sine omega t is plus 1, then it is maximum value. Then when it is minus 1, it is also called maximum value but in negative direction, or we can say minimum value. Okay, it is maximum but in the negative direction. So polarity of EMF will also change after equal intervals of time. So angular velocity omega of coil is related to the frequency nu as. So how angular velocity is related with the frequency? We know that relation omega is equal to 2 pi nu. Therefore, induced EMF is epsilon equal to epsilon naught sine, in place of omega we are writing 2 pi nu t. Okay. Mark it as 6.21 equation. Induced current is also sinusoidal and is given by I equal to epsilon upon R. So if induced EMF is sinusoidal, then induced current will also be sinusoidal, and it can be found using I equal to epsilon by R according to Ohm's law. So epsilon naught sin omega t upon R. So epsilon naught upon R will be equal to, we can write epsilon naught is constant, maximum value. So R is also constant. So epsilon naught upon R, we can write another constant I naught, and sin omega t will remain as it is. So I will be equal to I naught sin omega t. So what is this I naught? This is the maximum value of induced current. Okay, like epsilon naught is the maximum value of induced EMF, I naught is the maximum value of induced current, where I naught is the maximum value of current. Direction of current changes periodically, and therefore the current is called alternating current. Okay, so direction of current is also changing periodically. What is meant by periodically? After a certain period, after a certain time, its value is changing. Like sine function. Sine function from 0 to pi in the positive cycle, and from pi to 2 pi it is in negative cycle. Okay, after completing 2 pi, it start repeating its value again. So it is changing, it is varying periodically. Okay, it is periodic function. That's why direction of current and EMF changes periodically and therefore called the alternating EMF, or we can say alternating current. This is our next chapter, alternating currents. So this is the basic, the equation of this EMF and current for the AC generator is basics for the next chapter we are going to discuss. That is alternating current. Okay, since the value of sine function varies between +1 and -1, the sign or polarity of the EMF changes with time. Note from figure 6.14 that EMF has its maximum value when theta is equal to 90 degree or theta equal to 270 degree. Okay, so sine function varies between +1 and -1. Okay, so the sign or polarity of the EMF changes with the time. So figure 6.14 is representing the maximum value of EMF is at theta 90 degree. At theta 90 degree, sine theta is equal to sine 90 degree is equal to 1. And at theta 270 degree, sine 270 degrees -1. So at +1 and -1, maximum value of EMFs are there, but polarity of both the EMFs is different. Okay, as the change of flux is greatest at this point. So change in flux is greatest at these points at theta equal to 90 degree, at theta equal to 270 degree. Okay, this is the complete representation of the mechanism of the AC generator. Okay, so we have assumed that initially coil is placed vertically to the magnetic field direction. This is the initial case, stage 1. Okay, it is represented. The plane of the armature is perpendicular to the magnetic field. It is represented. Okay, so that means in which direction area vector will be? Area vector will be in direction of magnetic field. So direction between magnetic field and area vector will be, and angle between magnetic field and area vector will be 0 degree. Okay, so in this case, theta is 0 degree. So EMF will be sine 0 degree is 0. So EMF will be 0. It is represented here. Okay, now coil start rotating in clockwise direction. So SR will go there and PQ will go there. Now plane of in the second stage, plane of this coil is parallel to the magnetic field, and area vector is in the downward direction, which is at 90 degree with the magnetic field. Okay, so when armature rotates through 90 degree, now it has rotated through 90 degree angle. So area vector is now making angle 90 degree with the magnetic field. So rotates through 90 degree, the plane of the armature is parallel. Plane is parallel, but area vector is perpendicular to the magnetic field. Okay, so now sine 90 degree is 1. So epsilon is equal to epsilon naught, maximum value. So it is maximum value in positive cycle at 90 degree angle. Okay, now further coil has rotated through 90 degree angle. Now in initial condition, PQ was in the downward direction. Now PQ is in the upward direction. So it has rotated through 180 degree. Now area vector will be in direction opposite to the magnetic field. Magnetic field is from north to south. Now area vector is from south to north. Okay, so the angle between area vector and magnetic field in this condition is 180 degree. Sine 180 degree is again 0. So epsilon equal to 0. Again 0. Okay, now it is rotated through 90 degree more. Now total rotation from the initial position is 270 degree. Now again area vector is perpendicular to the magnetic field. Plane of the loop is parallel to the magnetic field. Area vector is perpendicular to the magnetic field. And angle is 270 degree. Okay, so stage 4 armature after rotation of 270 degree. Now EMF is again maximum. Sine 270 degree is -1. So epsilon equal to minus epsilon naught. It is maximum value but in negative direction because minus sign is there. Okay, so this is the maxima again. Now it is rotated through 90 degree again. Now complete 360 rotation is there. Now it has come to its initial condition. SR is in the upward direction in the initial condition. Now in the final, SR is in the upward direction. So it has come to its initial situation. Again, area vector is parallel to magnetic field and EMF is again 0. Now after this, again this cycle will follow and the graph will be again similar to that waveform. Okay. So after time t, this EMF or this induced current will repeat its value. So it is alternating EMF or alternating current with maximum values. Okay, got it? So figure 6.14 is representing an alternating EMF is generated by the loop of wire rotating in a magnetic field. Okay, you can find the direction of induced current also in the coil. How? By using right hand rule. Okay, so in second stage, you can see coil is rotating clockwise. Now, after this condition, this second stage, this SR will go downwards and PQ will go upward like this. Okay, so to find the direction of current in SR, you have to point your fingers in the direction of motion. So motion is in the downward direction. So point your fingers towards downward direction and rotate it towards magnetic field, that is from north to south. Now your thumb will give the direction of the induced current. So direction, your thumb is pointing from R to S. So induced current will be from R to S. Now PQ will go upward. So point your finger in the upward direction and rotate, curl them towards magnetic field, that is from north to south. Now your thumb will point in the direction from P to Q. So in arm PQ, current will be from P to Q. Now you can see current will be from P to Q, Q to R, R to S, S to outer circuit. Okay, and this current will change its direction. It is from PQRS. Now you can see in the stage 4. In stage 4, PQ arm is going downwards. Now direction of current in the PQ by using right hand rule will be from Q to P. In second stage, direction of EMF is from P to Q. Now in fourth stage, direction of current in the PQ arm will be from Q to P. Now direction of current has reversed. Okay, that's why it is called alternating current. It is changing its direction, and because PQ is connected to one slip ring only. So when current is from P to Q, then outer circuit is all current in the outer circuit will be in specific direction, and in fourth stage, current in the outer circuit will reverse. Okay, so that is called alternating current, which is changing its direction after a particular interval of time. Now, hydroelectric generators convert the energy of falling water from dams into electricity by rotating their armature. So you may have uh, seen in videos, or some of you may have seen by your eyes, that through your eyes, that how water from dam is released. Okay, when gates are opened, water come with very high speed, and at the bottom of the dam there is a shaft is attached. When high speed water falls on the shaft, then this shaft will start rotating, and this shaft is connected with the armature. Then armature will also start rotating with high speed, due to which electricity is generated. So these generators in which electricity is generated by the falling water from dams is called hydroelectric generators. Now thermal generators are there. Okay, so burning coal and other fuels to heat the water. So we are going burning coal or fuels, other fuels like diesel or anything, okay, is used to heat the water and to produce the steam, to produce high pressure steam. So this high pressure steam is thrown on the shaft blades. Okay, there is a turbine or shaft, okay, having some blades. Okay, so this high pressure steam is thrown on the blades of the shaft, due to which it starts rotating, and armature connected to that shaft is also starts to rotate. Okay, due to its rotation or spinning, electricity is generated. So this is known as thermal generators. Instead of coal, if nuclear fuel is used, so instead of burning coal or any other fuel, nuclear fuel is used, then we get nuclear power generators. Then thermal generators are called nuclear power generators. Modern day generators produce electric power as high as 500 megawatt. That is, one can light up 5 million 100-watt bulbs. Means modern day generators can produce 500 megawatt power. Means if you take 100-watt bulbs, you can light up 5 million bulbs. Okay, that amount of power they are generating. Okay, now example 6.10. Kamala pedals a stationary bicycle. The pedals are attached to a 100-ton coil of area 0.1 meter square. Okay, so some of you may have visited Pushpa Gujral Science City. Okay, so there also there is a cycle and you have to pedal. Okay, then in the front of the cycle there is one headlight is connected. Okay, that headlight begins to blow when you start pedaling. This is the this is based on the electromagnetic induction. In Science City, this type of setup is there. Okay, some of you may have visited. So Kamala pedals a stationary bicycle. The pedals are attached to a 100-ton coil of area 0.1 meter square. The coil rotates at half a revolution per second. What is given? Half a revolution per second. This means frequency. And it is placed in a uniform magnetic field of 0.01 Tesla, perpendicular to the axis of rotation of the coil. Okay, so uniform magnetic field is there, and this coil is perpendicular. It is rotating. Axis is perpendicular to the rotation of coil. What is the maximum voltage generated in the coil? You have to find the maximum amount of EMF. So let's see. So first list all the given things. Number of turns are given, n equal to 100. Area is given. Area of the coil that is rotating with the pedals is given, A equal to 0.1 meter square. Okay. So area is given, A equal to 0.1 meter square. Magnetic field B equal to 0.01 Tesla. Frequency is given. The coil rotates half a revolution per second. Half revolution per second means 0.1 second inverse. Angular velocity we can calculate by using omega equal to 2 pi nu. So 2 pi into 0.5 equal to pi radian per second. So maximum voltage EMF is given by. So we know that maximum voltage epsilon naught is equal to NBA omega. So put all the values that are given. Epsilon naught equal to n equal to 100, B equal to 0.01 Tesla, area is 0.1 meter square, and omega is pi radian per second. So after putting epsilon naught is equal to 1 into 0.1 into pi equal to 0.1 into 3.14. Epsilon naught is equal to 0.314 volt. Therefore, maximum voltage generated in the coil is 0.314 volt. Summary: an AC generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy by rotating a coil in a magnetic field based on electromagnetic induction. So this is a principle of generator also. The generated EMF follows a sinusoidal pattern due to rotation of the coil, producing alternating current. The EMF expression is epsilon is equal to NBA omega sin omega t. The output frequency depends on the rotation speed, while the voltage can be controlled by adjusting the field strength and rotation speed. So there are some practice questions you have to do yourself. A coil with 200 turns and area 100 centimeter square rotates at 50 hertz in a magnetic field of 0.2 Tesla. Calculate the maximum EMF generated. Second question, in an AC generator, if the frequency of rotation is doubled, what happens to the maximum EMF generated? Or B part, the time period of the AC current. Third question, an AC generator has a coil rotating at 3000 RPM. Calculate the frequency of the AC current produced. This is all about today's lecture, but don't go anywhere. We have to do the DPP. So open the DPP in your Sathi app. Okay, this is the first question. in an AC generator, the maximum induced EMF epsilon naught is given by which of the following expression? You can write your answer in the comment section. Okay. The frequency of the alternating EMF generated in an AC generator depends on the number of turns in the coil, the angular speed of rotation of the coil, the area of the coil, the magnetic strength, magnetic field strength. When the plane of the coil in an AC generator is perpendicular to the magnetic field theta equal to 90 degree, the induced EMF is when plane of the coil in an AC generator is perpendicular, but this theta is that theta is represented here is the angle between plane of the coil and magnetic field. But when angle between if plane of the coil is perpendicular to magnetic field, then area vector will be along the magnetic field. Okay, that theta is angle between plane and magnetic field, but the angle between area vector and magnetic field will be 0 degree, due to which induced EMF will be 0. Okay. In commercial AC generators in India, the frequency of generated alternating current. So the alternating current that we are using in the homes and that is being supplied in the homes is of 50 hertz. Okay, in USA it is 60 hertz, but in India it is 50 hertz. Which component of AC generator is responsible for transferring the induced current from the rotating coil to the external circuit? Slip rings and brushes, commutator, armature, or electromagnets? So to transfer the induced current to the external circuit, slip rings and brushes are used. Okay. Okay, so this is all about today. I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you.